One of the great benefits about being mayors, I get to work very closely with our law enforcement, men and women of law enforcement. And they're on the front lines of these issues all of the time. And so what they see and what they deal with gets back to us in a very real manner. And you don't have the ability at the local level to shirk any of those responsibilities. So you have to figure out how you're going to navigate through those issues. I always talk about these issues in terms of return on investment. For instance, it's probably not very Republican to say that you would hire a social worker at the city of Gresham, but we did. And the reason we did is because we have a limited police department that's dealing with homelessness, mental health issues, the drug and opiate severe addiction problems. And they end up being then taking time off of being able to patrol and protect and do proactive police work. They end up spending time in the mental health space. So the return on investment is if I hire a social worker and I put that person on the street to do that work for that police officer, then I've freed up those police officers to go out and make more proactive police work. So I think we have to not be afraid to talk about social problems and social issues because there is a Republican way to do it. Homelessness, we started a program in Gresham called the Clean Start Program. So we take homeless people and we pay them to go out and clean up the community. So it gives them a job, it gives them a sense of pride, and it helps get them off of the street and out of homelessness. That's a Republican way. That's not a Democrat way. Democrat ways throw more money at it, keep them more dependent. We want them to get a job and have more pride. So these issues are Republican issues if they're framed in the right way. I think sometimes we get afraid as Republicans to talk about them and to realize that, yes, there are huge social problems in our cities and in our counties that there are Republican answers to. And we've been successful doing that at Gresham. It's an uphill battle as we continue to do it, but there, again, one of the good friend of mine, the mayor of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Richard Berry, he's had national awards on a Republican mayor on how to get after homelessness and solve homelessness. So the more we get into the issue, the more we talk about it, the more we own the issue, and I think that's good for Republicans.
Well, I'm of the opinion that the best possible social programs are really intact families, high quality schools, and good paying jobs. And that's really where it starts. And I think we're all responsible for supporting families, especially those young families starting out. I think government has that role in making sure we have high quality schools and also facilitating a environment where business can exceed and grow and hire and provide those good paying jobs. That's step one. Step two is, though, we do have to provide that social safety net for those people who truly are in need and are struggling for whatever reason. I think in the state of Oregon we have a particular problem with treating people with mental health issues, and it's almost embarrassing the state it is in right now. But why we do that, why we provide that social safety net, we can't create a culture of entitlement or dependency. I think we should measure our compassion not by how many people we put onto those programs, but how many people we translate out of those programs to make them resilient and independent and being able to take care of themselves, but with our help when they need it.
The challenges facing our society are huge, and they will only be dealt with if we as individuals do what we can, and when our government steps out and does more than merely try and put Band-Aids over serious wounds. The first thing that we're doing in the Secretary of State's office is having me go to the areas where there are huge difficulties. I mentioned that we've had a joint event with the Urban League of Portland up in North Portland, where we focused a lot on education. Last week, I went to the Black Parents Initiative event up in Portland, and here's a group that they're raising some money, and what they're doing is they're providing a number of services to new parents or new mothers in their community. For instance, they refer to women that are assisting new mothers as doulas. I think that's kind of like a midwife, but in this instance, from prenatal through 1,000 days of life of a child, there's an older, more experienced woman who's helping with children, or with this mother with a new baby, and understanding and what can be done and how to be a better parent. I think that the government can assist and get out of the way. Stop having so many regulations which are a burden and make it difficult for organizations to help one another. We can set an example, we can give training, and we can support the local communities which are helping to raise children within their communities.